humor with heart, how to tickle your funny bone without breaking someone else's. This week we're going to do last straw laughter. Straws, no kidding, have the potential both to delight and to destroy, and we're going to look into that a little bit more as we go through 3 ways to reuse your straws in giggle-worthy ways. Hi, I'm Dr. K.P. McKee, founder and executive director of a Spacious Place Creativity and Spirituality Center. As we go through these 3 activities today, we would love to hear your questions and comments. You can just enter them in the comment box on your mobile device or your computer, and we will be happy to respond. Also, we're using a new setup today, so if you're having any difficulty seeing, please let us know and we'll adjust it so you can see. Okay, so our supplies are fairly simple and they will depend on which of the activities you're doing. So you're going to want some plastic straws, and I'm talking about leftover ones that you have around the house, and we'll talk about why in a little bit. And for one, you're going to need those straws to be bendable. Then you're going to want some colored pencils or some crayons, regular pencils, scissors, hole punch, and then an assortment of construction paper in whatever colors you like, and some glue sticks. So straws are difficult to recycle. They get caught in the recycling machinery and gum up the works, and there are many locales that don't even allow you to recycle those plastic straws anymore. And they also are harmful to marine life. The creatures mistake the straws for food, try to ingest them, and it causes them internal damage. So if we have them lying around the house, what on earth are we going to do with them? There's lots of things you can do with straws. Since we're focusing on things that are funny, we're going to get some laughs out of the straws we have on hand. So first of all, I must ask you a question. What kind of mustache would you choose? What color? What type? If you were to have any kind of mustache you want. Would you go for a classic Poirot? A bushy Tom Selleck? Who else were we talking about?
Sam Elliott.
Sam Elliott, or maybe even the Lorax. With this activity, you can have any kind of mustache you would like. So
Wilford Brumley.
Yeah, that's right. So I'm going to just go ahead and show you on a white sheet of paper because it's going to be easier to see. This is more than wide enough, but you do need a fairly wide mustache, and I will show you why in a minute. You want to fold it in half like this, and then you're going to draw a half a mustache on it. So I'm just going to go with a basic mustache. And then we're going to cut through both the layers here. And when we open it up, we now have a mustache. And in that center piece, we are going to punch a hole. Like this. And this is where our bendy straw comes in. So you're going to bend the straw and then thread it through here until you get to just where the bend stops. And then you are all set. So here are some ideas of other mustache straws you could make. We have a basic here, bushy, Lorax, and as you can see with some of these, if you want to do a little extra, you can fringe the bottoms to give them a little bit more of a hairy look there. So that's mustache straws. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to blast off into space and make some straw rockets. I have some here that I have already made. So to make a straw rocket, you want to get some fairly lightweight copy paper, something like this, no heavier than this. And this is about 2 inches by 3 inches. You don't want it too long because it'll be too heavy to take off like a rocket. And then you want to decorate the front whatever feels like space to you, or whatever kind of rocket you would choose as your rocket. Then you're going to wrap it around a straw and put some glue just on the very edge. You don't want to do it too tight because then it will not blast off. I found this idea on Pinterest, and then we adapted it a little bit on the top here, and I'll show you what I mean by that in just a minute. So it's going to sit like this. Okay. So it's going to sit like this, and now we're going to, oh, it's a good thing we are doing laughing since it's not staying together. Hold it until it decides to agree with you. Then we're going to fold the top down to make the point on the rocket. And I'll hold it up here in a minute so you can see a little better, because I know it's hard to see at this angle. So like this, and it's still not wanting to stay on there. Okay, I think we finally got it to agree. Alright, I'm just going to glue this. And you can also just do it straight across the top if you want. I just kind of like the look of the rocket ship. Yes. Okay. And clearly for all of these activities, because you are putting them in your mouth, needs to be one straw per person and not a time to share straws. So there's that one. And the last one is we're going to do something with straws to celebrate animals. And this is one that we found online, and then we added some other animals to the basic idea. So we're going to start out with an elephant, which is what we had found online. And I'm going with Horton inspiration and going with blue for my elephant. So you can easily, you want 2 sheets, you want 2 triangles the same size. That thing is just determined not to stick. All right, if it comes again, we're going to glue it some more. So you want 2 the same size, and you can fairly easily do that by cutting a square out of your construction paper and then folding it diagonally and cutting on the diagonal, which is what we have here. And then you're going to hold them together and fold down this part right here. Give it a nice press, like this. We're going to set one aside, and then we're going to use our glue stick, and we're going to first glue down that little section there. Then we're going to run a line from that section all the way up to the top. Then we're going to take our straw. I want to be sure we don't get a bendy one. Here we go. We're going to take our straw, and you want most of it to be here, because you're going to blow through this end right here. All right, now we're going to make ourselves a trunk. So you also want a strip of paper that's going to be your trunk. And we're going to put glue on it and glue it to the straw, and I'll show you here in just a minute how. We are going to literally breathe life into these animals. Feel the power. So I'm going to press this on here. Hope you can see this okay. I'll hold it up in a minute. I think our straw finally decided to stay stuff. So just like this. All right. And then we're going to put glue all over here, because we're going to glue the other one on top here now. Don't be afraid to use a good bit of glue. And this guy goes like there. Line it up. And glue. And I'll show you here in a minute what it looks like. So over to here. Now we're going to fold down our elephant ears. It's going to be like this, and then I'm going to glue them to hold them in place. Because you are using 2 layers of construction paper, you're going to want a lot of glue. And And I really love this glue that goes on purple because you can see right where you've gone. And it will dry clear. So we have this so far. Then we're going to add some eyes, and I've already cut out some eyes. There's circles here that I'm going to glue on, and then I'm going to add a little eye color to them, just for fun. Because we are about laughter here today. Let's see. Oh, I think some nice green eyes would be lovely. So I'm going to draw him a nice green eye in here. And he needs a couple of tusks too. So here we are so far. And the last thing we want to, before we do that, we're going to add some color here. So I'm going to give him some pink in his ears. And you can use crayon for this as well, whatever you prefer. And you can also draw on like maybe some eyebrows. Give it some character. Maybe a hair bow. You can also cut these things out and glue them on. And then I'm going to just draw some lines to indicate that this is a trunk. And then I'm going to take my pencil and I'm going to roll the trunk around the pencil. And hold it there just for a little bit. Alright, and then so that's an elephant, and we also discovered that you can also do other animals. It looks like this little guy's come out a little bit. So we did a snake. Got a little glue here. And with the snake, I realized after we made it that you also could bend it back this way so it didn't look so much like ears and more like a snake head. And we had some extra glittery paper, so we put some glittery paper there for the eyes and made it look more like a rattlesnake. Here is a frog. And my daughter did this one, gave him a monocle and some bow tie for his neck. And we have a couple of other, here's another frog. And an elephant with a mustache. So you can kind of go to town and you might think of some other animals you'd like to include. One thing about the snake, we decided that forked tongue at the bottom was important there, so you can do that too. So those are some ways that you can have some fun and reuse those plastic straws that are in your house. If you have liked this, please do like us on Facebook if you found it helpful. Also, you can rewatch it on Facebook, on YouTube, or on our website, www.aspaciousplace.com. And this wraps up our series on Humor with Heart. We are moving into, on the Christian calendar, the Lenten season, which is a time for self-reflection. So we're going to be doing a series on soul sonograms, practices for self-reflection. And whatever your faith journey is, we hope that you will find something in this will be helpful and good for your soul. So let's close with prayer. You are the God who created the duck-billed platypus, a child named Laughter, and all of us with our capacity to giggle, to chortle, and to belly laugh. Author of holy and healthful humor, we give you thanks with a mile-wide grin. Amen.